floor.
here,
That's
right
fine.
here.
Okay.
This is her.
This is the
This
couch.
is her head.
This is the wall here. This is the couch.
Yes.
All right.
She
This
rolled
is the
over.
kitchen.
She rolled over. Sorry, that's not what I need to use. She rolled over, and she specifically said, "Take her because I feel like I'm done." Okay.
What kind of injuries did she have at that time?
Man, listen to me, folks. This is a friendly PSA to everybody out there who follow me. Friendly public service announcement. Listen, man, people do not think the way you think. You might think that reason and logic goes along with everybody's thinking process, but it really doesn't. Just because you use reason and logic throughout your thinking process does not mean that other people follow that same roadmap, okay? There are people out here who are willing to crash out over nothing. There's somebody down the street right now who is willing to kill someone over $10. You cannot assume that people have common sense like you do. And that really leads into the topic that we have to talk about today, bro. Because today, ladies and gentlemen, we have Taylor Parker. And, you know, you hear a story like Taylor Parker and you automatically think of just like a movie or something. It's not even real. This is fiction. But this is real life, folks. Now, if you guys don't know who Taylor Parker is, this is a fetal abduction artist, is what you can call her. This is someone who goes around looking for babies to steal so that she could uphold her delusional reality, right? So the whole story about Taylor Parker, it's been blowing up all over the internet, and I just recently heard about it. Basically, she's had, failed marriages, this, that, and the other, but something happened to where she needed to get a hysterectomy. Boom, no more kids. Kids, not in the plans anymore. The womb, no longer functional. For some reason, right, she's had multiple failed marriages, multiple failed relationships. She gets into a new relationship, and for some reason, she decides to lie that she has become pregnant, right? Now, as this lie progressed over time, Taylor Parker realized that I'm going to need to display a baby in about 9 months. We're at about month number 6, and my new boyfriend, who thinks that I have a perfectly working womb, assumes to have a child in about 9 months. Tell me why Taylor Parker goes and murders someone by the name of Reagan Michelle Simmons-Hancock, murders her to steal her baby. Never heard of this story in my life, folks. Never heard of it in my life. I know I'm in the true crime genre, but holy shit, never heard of this one. I've never heard of a woman who has had children in her past, who doesn't even take care of the children she already has, attacking another woman to fake as if she's pregnant. I've never heard about that in my life, but guess what? Renee Parker, she's with all the shit. Guess what? If she wants a baby, she's gonna get one. Right? But anyways, she went viral recently on Netflix with a whole documentary, and after the documentary got released, there's been raw footage circulating of her interrogation. And I just want to show you a few pointers to show you how crazy this individual is. Now listen, this is a new topic. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment if you want me to continue to dig deep into this topic, because this is crazy. Let's go ahead and check this thing out. All right, so before we actually get into the interrogation, it's hours and hours and hours long, so I will be covering most of this on live stream. Before we get to the actual interrogation, I just want to set you guys up with the actual story, because when you read this story, it's like I said before, it feels like you're in a movie. If there are actually people like this around the city, around the country, around the world, you have to be careful. You might be having a wonderful life, but guess what? Somebody else the fuck is not. Somebody else is having a horrible life, and they're willing to crash out over anything. And that might manifest itself by them stealing your child out of your body. Be careful, folks. But let's read this real quick. So it says the murder of Reagan Michelle Simmons-Hancock, shows her birthday, was a case of murder and fetal abduction that occurred on October 9th, 2020 in New Boston, Texas. Never in my life heard of New Boston, Texas. Everybody who lives there, shout yourselves out. Y'all let me know if you ever heard about this story. Crazy. Never heard of New Boston, Texas. The perpetrator, Taylor Renee Parker, born December 8th, 1992, literally 5 years before I was born, bludgeoned and killed Simmons-Hancock, who was 36 weeks pregnant at the time. Parker proceeded to abduct Simmons-Hancock's child, and then they give the name Brexlyn Sage Hancock, by cutting her out of the victim's abdomen, but the baby did not survive. Parker had previously lied to her then boyfriend, Wade Griffin, about being pregnant 10 months leading up to the murder of Simmons-Hancock, and even faked her pregnancy to multiple persons. Parker was charged, tried, and found guilty of capital murder and sentenced to death on November 9th, 2022. Now, I just want to point something else out here. The fact that you were willing and able to fake a pregnancy for 10 whole months shows that you are an absolute psychopath. And I'm not sure if that's the right nomenclature, the right wording, but you're a psycho, or some type of a path in this world for you to be able and willing to fake a pregnancy for 10 whole months. Mind you, a baby pops out your coochie in 9, not 10. You were faking this shit for 10 months. Mind you, she was getting silicone bellies, all the works. Be careful out there, ladies and gentlemen. There is a Taylor Renee Parker down the street from you, and that bitch is ready to go kill somebody's baby. Be careful. Let's continue though. I just want to give you a little background about Parker. We're not going to go through the whole Wikipedia page. I just want to give you a little bit of background before we actually listen to these snippets of the body cam. Because when you get this background and you hear how she's talking in this video, it's gonna blow your mind. She has been fully drowned in delusion. And this is something you don't see very often. You know, we talk shit about Mackenzie's parents and Stephen Stearns' parents and Wade Wilson. This is probably the highest level of delusion I've ever seen, and it's very dangerous. I'm going to read you 3 more paragraphs real quick. We're going to rapid fire this shit. Check it out. So it says, background of Parker. Prior to the murder, the perpetrator, 27-year-old Taylor Parker, she's so close to my age, it's so scary. Prior to the murder, the perpetrator, 27-year-old Taylor Renee Parker, alias Taylor Morton and Taylor Wakassi, first befriended Simmons-Hancock while working as her engagement. Let me zoom this up. Let me zoom this in. Okay, while working as her engagement and wedding photographer. Based on background information, Parker became a mother at 17. And after breaking up with the father of the first child, Parker had a second child, a son, at age 21 during her first marriage to another man. Following complications from an ectopic pregnancy after failed tubal ligation. I'm not a doctor. Okay, so if I'm saying that wrong, I'm sorry. After failed tubal ligation, she underwent a hysterectomy, leaving her unable to have more children. So let's just pause right there. Taylor Parker, you have 2 children. You have kids. This is not some mother, because, you know, maybe the prosecutor would have argued like she was going through she was insane because she lost all her children and she was never a mother and she just she had a moment of psychosis and she just killed that woman for her baby. No, you have children. And from what it sounds like, you don't even take care of said children. Why in the F would you go kill somebody to go get your third child just to make somebody feel like your womb is working? It don't work no more. Be happy that you're still alive. I don't understand people like this. This lady is a psycho. I'm reading this shit this morning like, what is this? Is this a novel or is this real life? This is real life. Let's keep going. So she had a complicated pregnancy, got a hysterectomy, can't have kids no more, right? Let's continue. After divorcing her first husband in 2017, Parker was married a second time in 2018. Throughout her second marriage, Parker tried to seek her friend's help to serve as a surrogate mother as she hoped to have more children despite her hysterectomy. Her second marriage would also end with a divorce in 2019. Okay, normal. She has a new relationship. She wants a kid. But I think this was like, I do believe this was like the catalyst that made her crazy. It began as something like, oh yeah, I just want a kid. Let my friend become a surrogate, something. It doesn't work out. And now her mind starts to tweak a little bit. This is the catalyst to her becoming a psycho, in my opinion, in 2019 after that divorce. But let me just hurry get through this because we have more. We have footage to cover as well. After her second divorce, Parker began dating Wade Griffin, who she met at a rodeo in 2019. Despite having worked at a staffing agency and an OB/GYN clinic, Parker falsely claimed to be the heiress to an oil. So she's an heir to an oil fortune now, and later told Griffin she was pregnant. Over the next 9 months, she sustained the deception by using silicone pregnancy bellies and fake ultrasound images, even hosting a gender reveal party and a maternity photo shoot. Parker's first ex-husband later testified that he anonymously warned her boyfriend about the false pregnancy and alleged that she had been unfaithful during their 7-year marriage and treated their son poorly. Now, I'm going to cut it right there. We get an idea of who Miss Parker is, right? What the fuck's her first name? Taylor Parker. I ain't going to lie to you, bro. We understand who we're working with, right? Let's move forward to the interviews that got released, and we will be going live with this. It'll probably take us about a week or 3 days to get through everything. We'll see how long it takes, but I want to show you some of the highlights, right? I wrote some notes down. The first thing I want to go through is the scalpel. They talk about the scalpel, her stealing an infant from somebody's body, and why she would do such a thing. And she gives you a crazy explanation. So let's just start there. Now, hold on. Listen, you might want to take the word from AG Tactical with our new sponsor today called Money Pilot. All right. Money Pilot's an app that you could download on your phone that allows you to claim class action lawsuits that you're eligible for. And it's automatic. I always bring up Yahoo with the class action lawsuit that was able to net me $325 just by looking into it. So if you guys are interested, make sure you go download it, and I'm pretty sure you're going to like it.
I don't know.
No, this is the important part. Okay? All right.
But that's what I told you that the other night.
Now, you told me the other night that you use a scalpel.
That was after the fighting.
Okay.
That was after the fighting.
Okay. But during the fighting, what was used?
We used blunt force objects on each other.
So again, we're going to go through the entirety of this interview, but basically we're trying to figure out when and why and where the scalpel was used. This lady had a fucking scalpel on her. Her story is going to be like, oh, they had a fight, this, that, and the other. And when she was down, she begged her to take the scalpel and let the baby live since she probably is gonna die. Wild work. But let's keep going.
I got you. Okay. The knife that she had, where is it at?
On the floor. I mean, there was a freaking blanket that we both got tangled up in that she tried to shove down my face.
Okay. All right. When did you use that knife on her?
I can tell you the time blue in the face. I do not remember using that knife on her. If I did, okay, I'll take that.
That's fine. Relax.
And listen, that's the Mackenzie Shirilla. Man, that's the Mackenzie Shirilla way. I just don't remember. You know, I murdered 2 people, but, you know, I just don't know. It was such a crazy fight. We were using blunt force objects, and I just don't know. I can't remember. Man, listen, this is an unwell individual, and I wonder how long she's been unwell, because this is something that's been a brewing for a little while. This isn't anything that's new, or she just randomly lost her mind. Those divorces, I'm gonna tell you something. Those divorces took a toll on her mental health. And instead of seeing a therapist or a psychiatrist or whatever, she decided to go rob some fetuses. Well, not a fetus, an unborn child. Well, telling you folks, be careful out there. Let's keep going, though. Let's keep going.
Relax. Okay, listen to me. Listen.
But I'm like,
Okay, listen to me. All right.
I want to keep
Here.
talking, but I'm trying to remember. I can
That's
sit
fine.
here and think,
Listen
but I
to me.
thought I don't want to make anything up.
Okay, well, just stop. All right, just stop. Just relax and stop. Okay. All right, I understand that you just went through a crazy ass experience, one that you never expected to go through. I get that. Okay.
She didn't do anything wrong.
She didn't do anything wrong. I get that. All right, but listen to me. Okay. There's a knife that you claim she brought out.
Yeah.
Okay.
But listen, we're
If I wanted that knife,
Where would I
where
go?
would I find it at?
You moved the furniture.
We've searched the house. It's gone.
It's not gone. That knife was in there.
Okay. It's gone. There's no sign of a knife. Okay. So that's why I'm asking you, where is that knife?
I did not take that knife. I am telling you.
You didn't put it in your bag. You didn't
I
leave the
didn't.
house with that knife.
No, sir. I did not.
All right. When did your knife come out?
And this is where, if this was the truth, she would be firing off these answers immediately. When did your knife come out? When did she take her knife? Where's the knife? Where did it fall? She can't respond. You know why? Because she's a calculated, cold-blooded murderer who used maternal issues as a reason to murder somebody. Holy fuck, we live in a simulation. You know what I mean? We live in I think we all died and went to hell. And now we're just experiencing hell. I think back in 2020, the whole timeline got fucked up because what are we really doing? But you know, at the end of the day, I'm going to be real. I think we've always been living in hell, but now it's just the cameras are out and we get to document hell in action. Be careful out there, folks.
When she was laying there in a pool of blood, and
Where was she laying at in a pool of blood?
right where I told you she was.
So now her bullshit story is leading to her delivering the baby and saving the baby because they had their altercation.
Floor. That's
right
fine.
here.
Okay.
This is her.
This is the
This
couch.
is her head.
This is the wall here. This is the couch.
Yes.
All right.
She
This
rolled
is the
over.
kitchen.
She rolled over. Sorry, that's not what I need to use. She rolled over, and she specifically said, "Take her because I feel like I'm done." Okay.
What kind of
Take her because I feel like she's done. Where the fuck is she's from? Texas, right? Take her. I feel like, man, that's a lie. You liar. So after you beat the absolute fuck out of her, she asked you to cut her open and take her baby. Bro, we're living in a Black Mirror episode, whatever you want to call it.
That they're not what I need to. She rolled over, and she specifically said, "Take her because I feel like I'm done." Okay.
What kind of injuries did she have at that time?
Jesus Christ.
Just blood all over her.
No cuts?
I can't tell you that she didn't have cuts.
She can't remember.
I-
Listen, officer. She can't remember. Okay, come on. Why would you force her memory when she can't remember? Like, come on, be a human, officer.
That's
Like,
what I need to know.
I don't know.
Okay, that's why we're
There
here.
for a second, I thought I broke the fucking mason jar on her while you were talking.
No, but I'm curious. Did you hit her hard enough where you thought maybe the damn jars were going to break?
I'm sure.
Okay, but they didn't. They're intact. Okay, but when did she receive her cuts? Because the way it appears is these cuts happened during a fight, because they're not in just one location. They're all over her body. So how and with what did she get these cuts with?
I don't remember.
She don't remember. So anyways, we're going to go deeply into this story. I just want to give you guys the highlights to show you to show you the subject we are dealing with, right? The subject in which we are dealing with is a psycho, right? We're going to get through the whole thing. Don't you worry. But I want to move forward, right? So there's multiple parts of this video. And shout out to people who exposed this footage. They're called True Crime Unfiltered Footage. Never heard of them before, but they dropped this video first, I believe. So in the second part of the video, they break down her inability to have a baby. And I think they did that mainly to kind of get her a little vulnerable, kind of get her maybe a little riled up. I want to show you this other section to where she kind of ignores the fact that she can't have a baby. She's still living in her state of delusion. Right now, she's fighting these officers, trying to convince them while she's also trying to convince herself. This is a very rare case of insanity. Let's continue.
You don't have a baby, okay? Tell me more about made-up phone numbers and making phone calls.
Do you see how her face changed? It was a smile. The second he said, "You don't actually have a baby," her whole vibe changed. The energy shifted in this room. This is who you're dealing with in the real world. Thinking that you're just dating some girl and no, she's a psycho murderer. Pay attention, y'all. Pay attention. Look at the look of her face when he says you don't have a baby. Broke her whole reality.
Alright. You don't have a baby, okay? Tell me more about made-up phone numbers and making phone calls.
And making phone calls.
Mm-hmm.
I've not made any phone calls.
The week prior?
No.
The week prior. You had an event that you were supposed to make, but you didn't make it. One day.
Now I'm gonna pause it right there. The event that she was supposed to make and she didn't make it was her pregnancy. That was the event that she was supposed to make. Didn't make it. You know why? Because of random phone calls. They're asking her about these phone calls that she made from different numbers, Google numbers, separate numbers. What's with all that? It's because she called in a bomb threat to the hospital in which she was supposed to give birth. That only worked for a little bit of time. So the next time, she burnt her fucking house down with her boyfriend to try to shake things up and change the focus from her not delivering at month number 10. Don't worry, though. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Let's get there. But that's what all those phone calls that he's bringing up is about. She's making these calls. She's making these threats.
You mean, you look like you want to tell me something, so that's...
Because I want you to tell me.
I want you to tell me, you crazy bitch. I want you to tell me,
I
sweetheart.
want you to admit to something that you did.
Come on, sweetie. I want you to tell me. You crazy bitch. Come on now. I want you to tell me. Come on, man. This crazy.
Prior to this murder.
I didn't
To
do it.
avoid going to get induced. What did you do?
I didn't do anything.
Taylor, listen. Those apps, a lot of people think you can't track them.
You can.
That 100%.
You can. My name's Dolly Parton.
You know how we find an email address?
You look it up.
No. It's so much easier when you just spit things out.
What happened Monday morning?
We had a fire at the house.
Oh. Now we're getting some. We had a fire at the house. We had a fire at the house. Okay. I mean, shit happens. I mean, I've had a fire at my house. Never in my life. That was a joke. You know, but shit happens, right? People have fires at their houses every day, B. Understandable.
We had a fire at the house. It woke us up at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. What happened then?
We got up. We put the fire out.
Mm-hmm. And then what?
And then
Once it was out, we laid back down. I got up once to go check to see if it had sparked back up. It didn't, but we were both in the bed.
Okay.
My dad called me that morning.
Mm-hmm.
What else happened, sweetie? Did you happen to remove an infant from someone's womb by chance that day? Did you? You know, it just crosses my mind. Maybe you were doing some extracurricular activity after that fire went off. I don't know. Just saying.
And?
He was asking to see how I was doing. He
No.
told me.
And what did you do?
I didn't start that fire.
What did you do after the fire?
We both went back to bed.
A whole nother incident that happened after the fire, after you went back to bed allegedly. What did you do?
I didn't do anything. We went back to bed. Ask him. I was laying right
I
beside
don't need to
him.
ask him, okay? You know I know the answer. You missed something. You couldn't make something that you were supposed to go do. And there's a specific reason why.
We went to sleep and we slept through. We were supposed to go to the hospital at 5.
Yeah, what happened?
We slept through.
What happened to prevent you from going to the hospital, though?
They had a bomb threat.
And they had a bomb threat? Oh, man. My name's Dolly Parton. Anyways, this crazy bitch, dog. Shout out Dolly Parton. Yeah, man. Yeah, it took a little while to get there, but we got there. So this bitch lit a fire, called in a bomb threat, and murdered 2 people. All in the span of how long? Wow. And now you understand why she has the death penalty. A lot of things are coming out about this case that I never knew, bro. Shit. Taylor Parker. Let's keep going.
How did they have a bomb threat? You can admit.
I'm not admitting to anything I didn't
listen,
do.
Please, you can admit to taking a scalpel and opening a woman up and taking her baby and leaving. Okay, remember, you can admit to that.
Yes, I will admit to something that I did do.
You can admit to that, but you can't admit to this bomb threat?
No!
No! I'm going to stop it right there because it actually makes me want to do actual harm to her. But you know, we're not a harmful type of society over here at AG Tactical, so we're gonna pause it right there. But y'all let me know what you think, man. Do you think that this was just some innocent mistake or misunderstanding, and she just needed to save the baby because they had a little scrap. And the only way to save the baby was removing it. Crazy work. Taylor Parker, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be back real soon, man. Stay inside, stay safe. Don't be a fucking dumbass. I'll see you soon. Peace.